From above, Tanzania has no edges. 945,000 square kilometres, nearly the size of Western Europe. But 40% of it remains as it has always been, untouched, unmanaged, and indifferent to the presence of humans. Most people come here for the safari. Some come for Zanzibar. Both are right, and both are missing something much older. In 1959, in a dry, unremarkable gorge in northern Tanzania, a skull was the earth. 1.75 million years old. The most complete evidence ever found that this is where the human story began, on this ground, in this dust, under this sky. And at the same time, 1.5 million wildebeest are moving across the plains as they have for 2 million years. On the coast, wooden sailing boats leave the harbour before the city wakes. In Dar es Salaam, cranes lift the steel frame of a new bridge across the bay. Tanzania is not a destination. It is a place where time leaves marks. Lake Natron is the colour of an open wound. The surface temperature reaches 60 degrees Celsius. The alkalinity dissolves skin and eyes of almost any creature that enters. And yet 75% of the world's lesser flamingo population comes here, and only here, to breed. Not despite the conditions, because of them. The same chemistry that makes this lake lethal makes it impenetrable to predators. The flamingos chose the most hostile place on Earth because it was the safest. Below the surface of this logic runs something larger. Tanzania sits directly above the East African Rift, a 6,000-kilometre tear in the Earth's crust, where two tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart. The process moves at 7 to 9 millimetres per year, roughly the rate of a fingernail growing. But it has been running for 22 million years, and it is not stopping. It releases magma, it creates alkaline lakes. It exposes ancient geology that would otherwise remain buried. The same forces that turned Lake Natron red sliced open the Olduvai Gorge and revealed 1.75 million years of human prehistory. Layer by layer, like pages of a book, the Earth wrote itself. Tanzania does not conceal its past. The land pushes it to the surface. Kilimanjaro does not announce itself. It simply appears. 5,895 metres above sea level, sitting on the border between Tanzania and Kenya. visible on a clear day from more than 200 kilometres away. No adjoining range, no foothills to soften the approach, just a freestanding stratovolcano rising from a tropical plain at 900 metres. There is no mountain on Earth that stands more alone. Formed 3 million years ago by volcanic activity along the same rift that cracked Lake Natron open, Kilimanjaro contains 5 distinct climate zones within a single ascent. Tropical rainforest at the base where colobus and blue monkeys move through the canopy gives way to heath, then moorland, then alpine desert, then permanent ice. Most mountains offer one ecosystem. Kilimanjaro offers 5, stacked like floors of a building that reaches from the equator to the Arctic, all within the borders of a single national park. At its foot, the city of Moshi has built itself in the mountain. Markets, roads, churches, a civilization organised around the presence of something it can never fully understand. The glaciers on Kilimanjaro's summit have existed for 11,000 years, since before any human civilization had a written word for mountain. Current projections suggest they may be gone before 2050. It will just be different. And that distinction between presence and permanence is one the mountain has always understood better than we have. From the rim, you look down into another world. 600 metres of rock wall on every side. Below, a shallow soda lake, green grasslands, and a sky that seems lower here closer, somehow, than it does anywhere else. The Ngorongoro crater is 260 square kilometres of enclosed ecosystem, formed when a volcano collapsed into itself 3 million years ago. Lake Magadi draws yellow-billed storks, zebras and wildebeest to the same waterline. No fences, no management. The crater provides everything, and so nothing needs to leave. Giraffes cross the open floor. Cape buffalo graze in the morning mist along the crater walls. This is the only place on Earth where you can encounter the big 5 lion, leopard, elephant, buffalo, and rhinoceros within a single day, within a single unbroken ring of stone. The Maasai lion, a subspecies distinct to this region, recognisable by its darker mane, evolved here, inside this crater. Over thousands of years of genetic separation from lions elsewhere. The elephants of Ngorongoro carry something unusual: many have no tusks. Ivory poaching across the 20th century killed the tusked at such rates that tusklessness became a survival advantage and the trait propagated. Evolution, responding to human behaviour within a single century. 3 million years ago, A mountain destroyed itself and accidentally created the closest thing to paradise that still exists on this planet. Ngorongoro is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It receives roughly 500,000 visitors a year. None of them, as far as anyone can tell, leave unimpressed. Stone Town wakes before sunrise. The harbour fills with light before the streets do. The doors of Stone Town are the first thing travellers notice and the last thing they understand. Carved from hardwood, inlaid with brass studs and chains, geometric patterns and fishtail motifs. Each door was commissioned to announce the status and origin of the family within Arab, Indian, Portuguese, British. The door was the biography. The stone behind it was centuries of negotiation. From the 10th century onward, Zanzibar was the pivot of the entire Indian Ocean trading system. Gold came north from Zimbabwe. Ivory moved east from the mainland interior. Cloves cultivated here and nowhere else at the time determined the price of food across 3 continents. Arab merchants arrived first, then Persian, then Indian traders from Gujarat and Kutch. Then Portuguese caravels, then British naval frigates. Each civilization arrived, built, and stayed layering itself into the fabric of the town. A mosque beside a Catholic cathedral, beside a Hindu temple, 3 domes visible from a single narrow alley. The minarets are Ottoman. The carved lintels are Gujarati. The coral stone walls are Swahili. This is not a museum of coexistence. People live here. The buildings are occupied. The streets are busy. The port still operates. Container ships from Dar es Salaam anchor where Arab dhows once unloaded cargoes of pepper and silk. The same geography that made this harbour indispensable 1,000 years ago makes it indispensable now. But Stone Town also holds what every crossroads of wealth eventually holds. The last major slave market on the East African coast operated here until 1873. More than 600,000 people passed through this place in chains. Where the market stood, there is now a cathedral and a memorial. Stone figures, linked by iron chain at the neck, standing in a pit. One of them is a child. Zanzibar does not erase what happened here. The monument stands in open air. The cathedral was built on purpose not to bury the memory, but to mark it. The island has always understood that beauty and history are not opposites. They live in the same building. They use the same door. The dhow has not changed in 1,000 years. The lateen sail triangular, angled forward, was the technology that made the Indian Ocean navigable. It allows sailing against the wind, not just with it. Before this design, the ocean was a barrier. After it, the ocean was a road. Arab sailors read the monsoon winds like a calendar. Between November and March, the northeast trades blow toward East Africa. Between April and October, they reverse. A dhow captain could leave Masat, reach Zanzibar in 3 to 4 weeks, trade, and return on the reversing winds. The entire 2,000-kilometre round trip powered by seasonal air. No engine, no GPS. Only the knowledge of when to leave. The boats that line Zanzibar's beaches today are the direct descendants of those vessels. The whole design is Swahili Arab. The rigging is ancient. The fishermen who use them learned the winds from their fathers, who learned from theirs. At sunset, the dhows come in. The silhouettes have not changed either the curve of the hull, the angle of the mast, the figures standing at the stern. The Indian Ocean still runs on the same rules it always has. The wind does not care how old the technology is. If it works, it works. Menemba Island. From above, the atoll divides the ocean into 5 distinct shades. The deepest blue at the edge of the reef, then teal, then turquoise, then something between green and glass, then white, where the sand rises to meet the air. There is no English word for the colour closest to shore. Zanzibar teaches something the mainland cannot: how to stop. Not pause, not rest, stop. The water is warm enough to enter without deciding to. The current does the rest. But nothing in Zanzibar is entirely what it appears to be. On the beach at Kandwa, a herd of African humpback cattle is strolling along the shoreline. Kite surfers carve arcs above the water 50 metres away. Nobody on the beach finds this unusual. At some point, a place this layered stops separating the expected from the impossible. The sun sets on the Indian Ocean. The light turns the water copper, then bronze, then nothing. A bird crosses the frame. Zanzibar has seen 1,000 sunsets that looked exactly like this one. It will see 1,000 more. Before sunrise on the Serengeti plain, a balloon is inflated in darkness. The flame hisses, the envelope fills slowly, tilting upright. No one speaks above the sound of it. From above the cloud line, the Serengeti reveals itself all at once, not gradually, as it does from a vehicle, but complete. 30,000 square kilometres of grass and sky, and the river threading through it like a silver wire. From here, it looks still. It looks like nothing is moving. That impression will not survive contact with the ground. Below, under that silence, 1.5 million animals are already in motion. The horizon is moving. 1.5 million wildebeest, 500,000 zebra, 200,000 Thompson's gazelle. Together, nearly 2 million animals making the same circular journey. 1,800 kilometres every year on a route encoded in their bodies before memory or language existed. There is no leader. No animal has seen the whole route. Scientists believe the herd navigates primarily by smell, following the scent of rain falling on dry Serengeti soil, tracking moisture gradients across hundreds of kilometres of grassland. Each one follows what is in front of it: the smell of grass, the angle of light, something in the blood. That has been calibrated over 2 million years of repetition. They were doing this before there was a word for migration. The Serengeti exists to hold them. They exist to keep the Serengeti alive. The relationship is older than any human institution on Earth. At the Mara River, thousands have gathered on the bank. Some have been waiting for hours. The crocodiles have been waiting for weeks. One animal jumps. No one knows why that one. At that moment, not the scientists who have studied this for decades, not the animal itself. And then all of them go at once. The water turns brown. The sound is something between thunder and chaos. The crocodiles move. Most cross. Some do not. And within minutes of reaching the far bank, the herd is already grazing again, moving forward, indifferent to what just happened. For the migration, a crossing is not a crisis. It is Tuesday. While the migration moves, the predators stay. They have been here all along, arranged across the ecosystem like a second system operating inside the first. The lioness in the tall grass has been watching for 40 minutes. From a vehicle 20 metres away, she looks like patience personified. That is not what she is. She is calculating. The calculation is not yet. The Maasai lion of Ngorongoro carries a darker mane than its Serengeti cousins. An adaptation that emerged inside the crater's closed population. Visible evidence of evolution happening in real time within a human lifetime. The darkness signals higher testosterone. It signals dominance. The other males read it correctly. The cubs stay close to the mother for 2 years. They learn by watching, then by failing, then eventually by not failing. A lioness that raises 3 cubs to adulthood has done something exceptional. Most do not manage it. The Serengeti is not sentimental about this. The hunt, when it comes, is brief. What follows is not. A kill feeds the lions, then the hyenas, then the jackals, then the vultures, then the beetles, then the grass. Nothing is wasted. The ecosystem has no concept of waste. That is one of the things it got right that we haven't. The spotted hyena is not a scavenger. Between 75 and 95% of what it eats, it kills itself. It is one of Africa's most effective predators, with a bite force that crushes bone. The only large carnivore that can fully process a carcass, including the skeleton. It has been misread by centuries of human observers who arrived after the lions and drew the wrong conclusion. The hyena was there first. Elephants know where they are going. They remember water sources their mothers showed them, routes their grandmothers walked. The matriarch of a herd carries a mental map of territory spanning hundreds of kilometres, built over 60 years of movement. The calf walks in the shadow of its mother for years. It learns the routes, the waterholes, the seasonal rhythms. When the matriarch dies, the knowledge she carries does not disappear, it has already been distributed. It lives in the herd. From above, an elephant herd moving across the savannah looks like a single organism, a slow tide of grey crossing the golden grass. The spacing between individuals is not random. Portuguese, British. It is social structure made visible. This elephant is missing a tusk. The other was lost to a poacher's bullet, or a fight, or a fall. It has adapted. It feeds differently now, favouring the remaining tusk, which is worn unevenly as a result. The body records everything. Elephants mourn. When a member of the herd dies, the others return to the bones. They touch them with their trunks. They linger. Scientists debate what this means. The elephants do not seem to be debating anything. They know what they are doing. The lone acacia, the herd in the distance. The haze that sits on the Serengeti at noon, like memory sitting on a long life. Tanzania does not explain itself. It simply continues the grass and the elephants and the light, running on rules older than language. Below the migration, below the lines, below the grass itself, the river has its own system. The hippopotamus is the keystone no one talks about. A pod of hippos can number in the hundreds. They spend 14 hours a day in the water, not from preference but from necessity. Their skin has no sweat glands, no UV protection. The water is their only option. At night, they walk up to 30 kilometres on land to graze. They are not, as they appear, lazy. The open mouth is not a yawn. It is a threat display, the canine teeth, up to 50 centimetres long, presented to any challenger. The hippo kills more people in Africa than any predator with 4 legs. The mouth is the warning before the fact. Oxpeckers ride their backs. The birds remove parasites. The hippos tolerate the arrangement. This is what the Serengeti actually runs on 10,000 agreements like this one, operating simultaneously, none of them negotiated in language. At Lake Magadi, at the edge of the crater, the flamingos have returned. The same lake that reads as toxic at noon glows pink by morning. Yellow-billed storks pick through the shallows. Behind them, a wall of zebra extends to the hills. The ecosystem is not a list of species. It is a single thing breathing. Dar es Salaam. The name means in Arabic, the haven of peace. It is one of the fastest growing cities in the world and possibly the loudest place in Tanzania. It is building a bridge across the bay that will become the longest in East Africa when it is finished. The cranes are working right now. From above, the city reads as a coastal sprawl pushed up against the Indian Ocean. Skyscrapers at the centre, dense residential neighbourhoods spreading outward, cargo ships queued at the port. It looks like every other fast-growing port city on Earth. It is not. Dar es Salaam is 60% Muslim, 35% Christian, and the remaining percentage distributed across faiths that have coexisted here for centuries. The mosque and the cathedral share the same street. There are no police barriers between them on Fridays. There are no barriers required. The markets are open every day. The traffic is constant. Swahili mixes with Arabic, mixes with Hindi, mixes with English. 4 languages in a single transaction at a spice stall on Kariakou Market. Nobody's surprised by this. The port handles cargo for the entire region landlocked countries like Zambia, Malawi, Uganda. Every day, container ships unload things that will travel hundreds of kilometres inland. The ocean connects Dar es Salaam to everywhere. It always has. The city is building itself outward, upward, loudly. Dar es Salaam does not wait for permission. It is adding 500,000 people every year. It does not slow down to explain itself. That also is very Tanzanian. Drive 2 hours from Dar es Salaam in any direction and the city disappears. What replaces it does not ease in. Gradually, it arrives all at once. The farms around Arusha have been worked continuously for generations. The same mountain that watches the farms watched them when Tanzania did not yet have a name. Coffee grows here. Tanzania is one of Africa's oldest Arabica producers. The beans grown in the shadow of Kilimanjaro since the 19th century. Bananas, maize. The soil is volcanic dark, rich, producing without complaint. On a Sunday afternoon, 5 boys are playing football on a dirt pitch outside a village near Moshi's. There is no net, but there are 2 sticks marking the goal. The score is disputed. Nobody cares. At a waterhole 30 kilometres from the nearest paved road, 100 zebras are drinking. They arrived without announcement, lined up at the edge, and are now doing what animals do at watering holes. Drinking, watching, aware of everything around them. The mountain in the clouds. The valley below it, still dark. The animals that have been moving since before the valley had a name. All of this continues. Tanzania does not require an audience to continue. The gorge at Olduvai is quiet in the afternoon. The wind moves through the canyon without hurry. Somewhere in the layers of rock below, the bones of our ancestors are still here. Still being found, still being named, still changing the story of who we are and how old that story is. The zebras run, not from anything, not toward anything specific, just running, the way animals do when the land gives them room to run. The lake holds the light of a day ending. The flamingos are there. They were there yesterday. They will be there tomorrow. The lake does not require them to be anywhere else. The elephants are moving through tall yellow grass at dusk. The matriarch knows this route. She has walked it so many times that the path carries her memory before her. The dhows come into Zanzibar harbour in the last light. The same boats, the same harbour. The same light on the same water it has always been. Tanzania is not waiting for you to arrive. It is not performing. The gorge and the glacier and the wildebeest and the coral and the door with the brass studs, all of it was here before the word Tanzania existed. All of it will be here after. The ground still remembers what we have forgotten. Come and stand on it. That is enough.